All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our session on mindfulness and meditation. So we have a special guest speaker, Mia Falak, who will be sharing their expertise on meditation and mindfulness. And we are grateful for the support and the funding of the Canadian Red Cross to allow us to run this program and invite Mia to share her knowledge on this topic. So Mia first began facilitating mindfulness and meditation sessions with the McGill Office of Religious and Spiritual Life while completing her education in psychology. As she learned more about the benefits of these practices, she began compiling wellness-related resources and participating in educational conferences, eventually taking a lead role in McGillsJack.org, a youth mental health organization. Mia has learned about mental health in diverse roles as a counselor for the Central Ontario Development Riding Program, as an activities leader in rural Cambodia, and even as a writer for educational TV programs. Nowadays, Mia is proud to employ her knowledge as a support worker for youth experiencing homelessness and an instructor therapist for youth on the autism spectrum. So thank you, Mia, for coming on as our guest speaker for this evening, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Lex. I'm so glad to be here with you all. So since I'm going to be asking you guys about your experiences with mindfulness and meditation later on, I wanted to tell you a bit about my experiences with these practices. My journey with mindfulness and meditation began many years ago. Just as I had begun studying psychology at university, I suffered a serious concussion. And suddenly, I found myself unable to do many tasks which I had been able to do before with ease. And as emails from professors and bills began to pile up, my feelings of anxiety, depression, and loneliness grew. What if I was unable to continue studying because I did so poorly in school this year? What if my condition didn't improve? Why did I keep feeling this anxious about my situation? And though my concussion symptoms eventually began to lessen, my constant cycle of negative self-talk remained. So I turned to my studies to try to find a solution. One day, I ran across a Harvard study entitled "A Wandering Mind is Not a Happy Mind," which contained this mind-boggling statistic. On average, our minds are wandering 46.9% of the time. In a nutshell, we are not entirely present for almost half of our lives. Fortunately, each of us has the power to change this number. So you might be thinking, okay, our minds wander a lot, but is that really so important? I feel like I have bigger things to worry about than that. However, studies have shown that when we are focused on the present moment, we are happier than when our minds wander. Mind wandering is an excellent predictor of people's happiness. In fact, Harvard psychologist Matthew Killingsworth states that how often our minds leave the present and where they tend to go is a better predictor of our happiness than the activities in which we're actually engaged. Conversely, when we focus on the present moment, we are less stressed, or as Killingsworth says, to think about what is not happening comes at an emotional cost. And that brings us back to the beginning of my journey. In the room that you see before you, because there are practices we can use to make ourselves more present and reap the benefits that come from that. They're not very time-consuming, they're free, and because our brains are so good at wiring themselves in new ways, they become easier and easier to do. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. It is the awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and doing so non-judgmentally. The terms mindfulness and meditation are used interchangeably by some people, likely because the two go hand in hand, right? You can't be in a state of meditation without being mindful. I'll talk more about meditation soon, but I would say that meditation is seen as more of a specific and time-structured practice, whereas mindfulness can be practiced anywhere, anytime. And because of that, there are many ways in which we can practice mindfulness. Physically, a couple of ways to practice mindfulness are seated, walking, standing, and moving meditation. So I'll go through some of these and just explain what they might look like. Seated meditation might be sitting comfortably in a chair with your back straight, feet flat on the floor, and your hands in your lap. Breathing through your nose, you could focus on your breath moving in and out of your body. If physical sensations or thoughts interrupt your meditation, you can note the experience and then return your focus to your breath. Walking meditation might be finding a quiet place like a room and beginning to walk slowly. You could focus on the experience of walking, being aware of the sensations of standing and the subtle movements that are keeping your balance. When you reach the end of your path, you could turn and continue walking, maintaining awareness of your sensations. Standing meditation might be standing with your arms at your sides and focusing your attention slowly and deliberately on each part of your body, in order from toe to head or head to toe. You can be aware of any sensations, emotions, or thoughts associated with each part of your body. Moving meditation might be anything from walking meditation to trying out something like Tai Chi, a practice which is meant to realign energy or Qi in the mind and body through a series of slow, focused movements accompanied by deep breathing. It sort of looks like slow motion dancing. Like I mentioned earlier, mindfulness is great because it can consist of really short pauses we insert into everyday life. We can even merge practicing mindfulness with other activities like yoga or sports. And there are a lot of benefits to mindfulness. So reducing stress. Scientists have found that mindfulness influences not one, but two different stress pathways in the brain, changing brain structures and activity in regions associated with attention and emotional regulation. Similarly, in a review of meditation studies, researchers found strong evidence that people who received MBCT, which is a form of therapy that utilizes mindfulness, were less likely to react with negative thoughts or unhelpful emotions in times of stress. Enhancing performance. Mindfulness has been shown to help athletes improve their performance and better enjoy their performances, thus reducing their potential for burnout. But mindfulness might enhance other types of performance as well. In one study, students who took a mindfulness course had, on average, a 16% boost in their exam scores. The idea here being that if their mind wandering was lessened, their ability to focus improved, and thus so did their cognitive ability. Gaining awareness and insight through observing our own mind. Regular practice of mindfulness enables us to be more aware of where our mind is and helps us bring it back when it wanders. Furthermore, it teaches us to accept whatever arises in our awareness, helping us to be kind and forgiving to ourselves, and increasing our attention to others' well-being. So researchers found that meditation increases people's compassion and altruism as well. The practice also strengthens regions of the brain responsible for social cognition and emotional regulation. This can result in a greater understanding of the suffering of others. Anyone can do mindfulness. It's a way of living, and it's evidence-based. Mindfulness and some of the other practices that I'll be discussing later are for everyone. And though they get easier with consistent practice, anyone can reap the clinically proven benefits of mindfulness. Another incredibly useful practice related to mindfulness is meditation. We can think of meditation as a practice or a set of techniques which are encouraging a state of non-judgmental awareness and focused attention. Meditation isn't about becoming a different person, a new person, or even a better person. It's about training in awareness and getting a healthy sense of perspective. You're not trying to turn off your thoughts or feelings. You're learning to observe them without judgment. And eventually, you may start to better understand them as well. Some archaeologists actually believe that people were practicing meditation back in 5000 BCE, which is almost 7,000 years ago. And the key word there is practice, not perfect. Later, we're going to practice meditation. Well, maybe not you guys in the car. And you might forget to breathe in the pattern that I'm showing you. Maybe your focus is going to wander a bit. It's all part of the experience, and it's all part of your journey. Practicing meditation is like learning a new skill or working out a new muscle. It might be tough at first, but it will get easier, more comfortable, and better with consistent practice. And there are tons of great benefits to meditation as well. You're gaining a new perspective on stressful situations. Because you're observing your thoughts and emotions in a non-judgmental, detached way that's not overwhelming you. So you're looking at them from a different and quite useful perspective. Thus, as you practice meditation, you are building skills to manage your stress. Increasing self-awareness is a great benefit of meditation. When you continue to practice meditation, you begin to see yourself more clearly through the process. By quieting the noise and witnessing your thoughts without judgment or inner commentary, you can become more intimate with yourself, your needs, your desires, and even your limitations. Focusing on the present is a great benefit of meditation. I've talked a little bit about that. Reducing negative emotions. So in a study where university students who had never practiced meditation before began to meditate, researchers not only found that the participants reported fewer negative emotions after meditation, but that their loved ones reported fewer negative emotions when their partners meditated. So meditation may not only help you to feel better, but it could also help the people you interact with every day feel a little bit better. Increasing imagination and creativity. This is kind of a cool one. Certain meditation techniques can promote creative thinking, even if you have never meditated before. In one study, those who practiced open monitoring meditation, which is being receptive to every thought and sensation, performed better in divergent thinking, which is thinking up as many possible solutions for a given problem. And lastly, increased patience and tolerance. You might find that meditation will increase your tolerance and patience for other people. Meditation involves deep self-reflection and increased self-awareness. By taking inventory of your own life and thoughts, you may learn to understand where you can be more tolerant, more patient, or more loving. In the moment, meditation might even help you to detach and let go of your feelings of impatience. So, yes, we can talk about how we might meditate as beginners. It's super easy. So you can sit and dress however feels good. I like to sit in a chair with my back straight, my arms at my sides, and my feet on the floor. and I would recommend dressing comfortably. Be prepared for noisy distractions. The best time to meditate is whenever we can. The fact that you are meditating at all is awesome. We only need a few minutes to meditate, and what matters most is consistency. It is about the journey. One popular way to practice mindfulness and meditation is yoga. I've heard that you guys have an awesome IPV yoga program at BIAWW. So if you go to a yoga class or watch a yoga video, it's basically going to entail doing a specific set of exercises called poses, combined with specific breathing techniques and meditation principles. Yoga is essentially a spiritual discipline based on science that's focused on bringing harmony between your mind and your body. More broadly, or metaphysically, you could say that yoga is a meditative process of self-discovery and liberation. It is a practice that allows us to transform and purify our bodies, minds, and souls, expanding our consciousness to help us connect with nature and the universe around us. And as you could imagine, there are many benefits to yoga. So reducing stress and lowering blood pressure is one of them. One study found that when people with high blood pressure practiced yogic breathing exercises, whether it was online or in person, over half of them significantly lowered their blood pressure. Activating the parasympathetic nervous system. So it's kind of a complicated term. Yoga activates the rest and digest or parasympathetic nervous system, as opposed to the sympathetic or fight or flight nervous system. Basically, when you encounter a threat, your sympathetic nervous system kicks in, releasing stress hormones that are going to help you either run or fight back. Once the danger has passed, your parasympathetic nervous system activates and allows you to rest and relax. This is the nervous system which yoga activates. Increased flexibility. I think this one is probably the most obvious. The various poses that are performed in yoga are designed to stretch the muscles, making the body limber and increasing our flexibility. Increased muscle strength and tone. Yoga has been found to cause significant improvements in muscle strength and endurance, because though yoga is about stretching the body, those yoga poses pack a lot of power. In a way, yoga is a weight-bearing exercise where we're relying on our bodies to form poses with precision, and thus we're building muscle tone over time. Improved respiration, energy, and vitality. In one study, after an 8-week yoga intervention, people who were previously inactive showed significant improvements in physical and overall respiratory functions. The inclusion of pranayama, or the breath regulation, which often occurs in a yoga practice, had the added benefit of improving participants' respiratory muscle strength. Maintaining a balanced metabolism. So yoga has a powerful stimulating and strengthening effect on the endocrine organs, and thus helps those practicing to regulate their metabolism. Cardio and circulatory health. So beyond offloading stress, researchers at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine found that practicing yoga may help to lower blood pressure, blood cholesterol, and blood glucose levels, as well as heart rate. Thus, yoga has a significant impact on cardiovascular risk factors. And improved athletic performance. As it goes hand in hand with mindfulness, it makes sense that yoga not only improves athletic performance, but protects those practicing from injury. For instance, Tom Brady was seen doing yoga on the sidelines of the field in a game against the Patriots. LeBron James began practicing yoga back in 2009, I think, to relieve some lower back issues he experienced. And not only did he say that it helped him with those problems, but it also helped him to improve his stamina and his game on court. I've seen many young student athletes incorporate yoga into their routines in order to perform better and protect themselves from injury. Yet another tool we can use to improve our health and well-being is maintaining strong sleep hygiene. Strong sleep hygiene means having both a bedroom environment and daily routines that are promoting consistent, uninterrupted sleep. Keeping a stable sleep schedule, making your bedroom comfortable and free of disruptions, following a relaxing pre-bed routine, and building healthy habits during the day can all contribute to ideal sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene is important because obtaining healthy sleep is important for both physical and mental health. It improves your productivity and it improves your overall quality of life. Research has demonstrated time and time again that forming good sleep habits is a central part of health. And sleep hygiene, it encompasses both environment and habits, and it can pave the way for a higher quality of sleep and in turn, better overall health. So I think that you guys have a sheet of sleep hygiene tips. I have the same sheet, so I'll give you guys a minute to find it or maybe pull it out if you have it with you. If not, no problem. I'm going to be reviewing it. Okay. Getting a good night's sleep. Sleep problems are fairly common. In fact, 1 in 4 people experience sleep difficulties, which include trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, early morning waking, sleeping too much, or restless and unsatisfying sleep. I am one of those 1 in 4 people. Getting a good night's sleep can improve your mental well-being and help you to better manage your anxiety. The good news is that there are things you can do to improve your sleep. Sleep problems could be the result of various conditions or medical problems, so it's always good to mention them to your doctor. To improve your sleep, you could try out some of the following strategies. Create a comfortable sleep environment. So I talked about this a little bit. If you want to have a good sleep, it helps to create a comfortable sleep environment. Make sure that you have a supportive mattress and fresh, comfortable bedding. Also, try to ensure that your room is not too hot or cold, minimize noise, and block out light. Relax. Try doing something to relax your body and mind before going to bed. Try taking a hot bath 90 minutes before you plan to go to bed, or try a relaxation exercise, meditation, or listening to calming music. We're actually going to try 2 different breathing techniques and progressive muscle relaxation later on, so you guys will get to see what it looks like. Have a snack. Although a heavy meal in the evening can disrupt sleep, a healthy light snack in the evening can improve sleep. Try eating light cheese and crackers, turkey, or bananas, or drink a warm glass of milk. Just avoid heavy, spicy, or sugary foods. Get physical. People who exercise tend to have a more restful sleep. Exercising for at least 30 minutes 3 times a week can improve your sleep, so get moving. Go for a walk or a run, although that might be hard in the snowy weather. The best time to exercise is in the late afternoon or early evening. Exercising in the morning, though it is good for you, will not really help you with sleep. Exercising less than 2 hours before bedtime can actually interfere with sleep. Set a bedtime routine. Having a bedtime routine cues your body that it's time to sleep. So establish a set routine that you follow every night. For example, you could have a hot bath Put on your pajamas, brush your teeth, and then listen to soft music and read on the couch until you start to feel sleepy, and then go to bed. Establish a fixed awakening time. Try waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, no matter how well or poorly you have slept. This way, your body will begin to get used to a regular sleep rhythm over time. Sleep only when sleepy. Don't force yourself into bed at a particular time if you're not feeling sleepy. You're probably only going to lie awake in bed, frustrated at yourself because you can't sleep. Just for sleeping. Your bed should be used only for sleeping. Try to avoid reading, watching television, working, or studying while you're in bed, because these activities keep your mind active, which is going to get in the way of you sleeping. Get out of bed. If you can't fall asleep after 20 or 30 minutes, get out of bed and do something incredibly boring. Or try relaxing. When you start to feel sleepy, try going back to bed. This strategy can feel like you're making things worse for a bit initially when you get out of bed, but if you stick with it, it can be really helpful. I have some old statistics textbooks that I read when I can't fall asleep. That's my strategy. Don't worry. Leave your worries about work, school, health, relationships, etc. out of the bedroom. You could even try scheduling a worry time earlier in the evening to deal with your worries. If you wake up in the middle of the night worrying, try writing down your worries and tell yourself that you're going to address them in the morning. Worrying about sleeping doesn't help. It just makes it more likely that you won't sleep. Let go of your belief that you have to get 8 hours of sleep or you can't function. Stop looking at the clock and stop trying to make yourself sleep. It will happen when it happens. Avoiding caffeine. So avoid consuming caffeine at least 4 hours before bedtime. This includes coffee, some teas, soft drinks, and chocolate, because caffeine is a stimulant and it can keep you awake. Avoid alcohol. Although you may think that alcohol will help you fall asleep because it makes you kind of drowsy, it will interfere with your sleep later in the evening. So try to avoid consuming alcohol at least 4 hours before bed. Don't smoke before bed. Try to avoid smoking as well, at least 4 hours before bedtime, because it too interferes with a good night's sleep. Skip the nap. Unfortunately, naps can interfere with normal sleep cycles. So if you're having trouble sleeping, maybe avoid taking some naps. That way, your body will be more tired when it's time for bed. And get some natural light. Try to spend some time outdoors or just in natural light every day. Getting some sunlight early in the day can be helpful for setting your body's natural wake and sleep cycle. And I think at the end, there are a couple of keys to success. So start small. Making small changes can have a large impact on your sleep. Don't try to do everything at once. Instead, pick 1 or 2 of these strategies and try them consistently. When you're ready, you can try adding a new strategy. The goal is to slowly start increasing behaviors that are going to help you sleep while reducing the things that are interfering with your sleep. Be consistent. So sort of the same thing. Pick a strategy and use it consistently. Try and do the same thing every night. Be patient. These strategies can take time to improve your sleep. In fact, unfortunately, sometimes things can get worse before they get better. Hang in there and stick with it. And you could chart your progress as well using the sleep diary form that's there. Those are some super helpful tips. I think that in your supplies box, you guys have a sleep mask. So sleep masks can help to promote sleep hygiene and quality because they can block out distracting light, which is going to enable you to fall asleep faster or sleep longer if needed. Next, we're going to try out 2 different breathing techniques, and we're going to do both of them for about 10 breathing cycles. So box breathing is a simple but powerful relaxation technique that I believe is used by the US military and Navy. Box breathing is a technique for deep breathing, which has been shown to help relax the nervous system. And like you might have guessed, deep breathing helps aid the body in a lot of functions like calming and regulating the nervous system, helping the body cope with stress, easing your panic and worry feelings, and bringing more oxygen into the body. So the way that square breathing works is you breathe in for 4 seconds. Square breathing and box breathing are interchangeable terms. Hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and hold for 4 seconds. Sorry. 1 second, I'm just answering a message here. So box breathing looks something like this. And then hold. Then you breathe out. And then you hold. I would recommend breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. A couple of tips are if 4 seconds on each side of the square is too much, that's totally okay. You could use 2 seconds or 3 seconds to help you get the hang of it. You can always try saying the numbers in your head if it's hard to follow the beat, and get comfortable. It's way easier to relax and to breathe if you're in a rested and comfortable position. So we're gonna breathe along with this box breathing video now for about 10 seconds, and there'll be instructions in the video. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Lex, do you wanna keep going with the video, or do you wanna move on to the next one? It stops at 10 cycles. Okay, awesome job, guys. Nice job if anyone followed along. We're going to try another technique now called 4-7-8 breathing. We'll also do it for about 10 cycles. The 4-7-8 breathing technique is somewhat similar to box breathing, but it's based on pranayama or yogic breathing practices. And it works a little like this. First, you close your lips, inhaling silently through your nose as you count to 4 in your head. Then for 7 seconds, you're going to hold your breath. Then for 8 seconds, you're going to let your lips part. And when you breathe out through your mouth, you're going to make kind of a whooshing sound. So we're going to do that following the video for about 10 cycles. It'll be a little longer than the other one because we're breathing and holding for longer. Okay. Awesome job, everyone. Now I'm going to talk to you about another technique that we'll try out called progressive muscle relaxation. Progressive muscle relaxation is a non-pharmacological method of deep muscle relaxation based on the premise that muscle tension is the body's psychological response to anxiety-provoking thoughts, and thus that muscle relaxation blocks anxiety. And as you might imagine, there are lots of cool benefits to PMR. So it helps to control your anxiety response. One study found PMR to be as effective at reducing anxiety as acupuncture was. Relaxes you for sleep. When you go down to bed, you want your heart rate and blood pressure down. And by calming everything down, you're setting the stage for sleep. Once you've completed PMR in bed, you can continue to focus on your breathing until you drift off to sleep. Relaxing for sleep is the main thing that I use PMR for. I found it really helpful. Relieves stress and tension headaches. Everyday stress can cause physical and mental tension, which is kind of a recipe for headaches. But PMR reverses many of the stress responses that are triggering headaches. According to the American Migraine Foundation, PMR is actually an accepted technique for controlling and preventing headaches. And I've already talked a bit about how these techniques might enhance athletic performance and help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, or the rest and digest system. For the next 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to practice PMR, and I am going to lead you through it. So please take a minute to get comfortable, either sitting or lying down with or without your eyes closed. Either way works, whatever you feel is best. I'm going to give you guys a minute to do that. Okay, I'm going to get started. Progressive muscle relaxation is an exercise that reduces stress and anxiety in your body by having you slowly tense and then relax each muscle. This exercise can provide an immediate feeling of relaxation, but it's best to practice frequently. With experience, you will become more aware of when you are experiencing tension, and you will have the skills to help you relax. During this exercise, each muscle should be tensed, but not to the point of strain. If you have any injuries or pain, you can skip the affected areas. Pay special attention to the feeling of releasing tension in each muscle and the resulting feeling of relaxation. Let's begin. So sit back or lie down in a comfortable position. Shut your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. Begin by taking a deep breath in and noticing the feeling of air filling your lungs. Hold your breath for a few seconds. Release the breath slowly and let the tension leave your body. Take in another deep breath and hold it. Again, slowly release the air. Even slower now, take another breath. Fill your lungs and hold the air. Slowly release the breath and imagine the feeling of tension leaving your body. Now, move your attention to your feet. Begin to tense your feet by curling your toes and the arch of your foot. Hold on to the tension and notice what it feels like. Release the tension in your foot. Notice the new feeling of relaxation. Next, begin to focus on your lower leg. Tense the muscles in your calves. Hold them tightly and pay attention to the feeling of tension. Release the tension from your lower legs. Again, notice the feeling of relaxation. Remember to continue taking deep breaths. Next, tense the muscles of your upper leg and pelvis. You can do this by tightly squeezing your thighs together. Make sure you feel tenseness without going to the point of strain. And release. Feel the tension leave your muscles. Begin to tense your stomach and chest. You can do this by sucking your stomach in. Squeeze harder and hold the tension. A little bit longer. Release the tension. Allow your body to go limp. Let yourself notice the feeling of relaxation. Continue taking deep breaths. Breathe in slowly, noticing the air fill your lungs and hold it. Release the air slowly. Feel it leaving your lungs. Next, tense the muscles in your back by bringing your shoulders together behind you. Hold them tightly. Tense them as hard as you can without straining and keep holding. Release the tension from your back. Feel the tension slowly leaving your body and the new feeling of relaxation. Notice how different your body feels when you allow it to relax. Tense your arms all the way from your hands to your shoulders. Make a fist and squeeze all the way up your arm. Hold it. Release the tension from your arms and shoulders. Notice the feeling of relaxation in your fingers, hands, arms, and shoulders. Notice how your arms feel limp and at ease. Move up to your neck and your head. Tense your face and your neck by distorting the muscles around your eyes and mouth. Release the tension. Again, notice the new feeling of relaxation. Finally, tense your entire body. Tense your feet, legs, stomach, chest, arms, head, and neck. Tense even harder without straining and hold the tension. Now release. Allow your whole body to go limp. Pay attention to the feeling of relaxation and how different it is from the feeling of tension. Begin to wake your body up by slowly moving your muscles. Adjust your arms and your legs. We can take a minute to slowly wake our bodies up. Stretch your muscles And open your eyes when you're ready. Awesome job, everyone. Really nice work. I hope you were able to follow along. Okay, so I think that Lex is going to end the recording of this session now.
Yes, thank you so much, Mia. I will end it here. And thank you so much for all of that information on mindfulness and meditation, as well as that amazing intro to the PMR in practice. That was very, very helpful.
No problem at all. I hope you guys had fun.
Thank you.